Yeah, this is big news today. Scientists say fusion could eventually be used to power entire cities. That will take time, of course, to develop. But this breakthrough is the beginning of that process. Well, President Biden is just signing the Respect for Marriage Act at a White House ceremony. Let's go ahead and take a live look. This is happening live outside of the White House right now. The new legislation gives some measure of federal protection to same-sex and interracial couples. Supporters are worried, though, that United States Supreme Court could overturn its ruling that made gay marriage legal throughout the U.S. And while the new law protects many couples, there is a risk to that right to marry here in Michigan. Paula Tutman joins us now live tonight to explain all of that. Paula?
Yeah, so there are people who obviously believe that the choice of a marriage partner is a very private and personal decision. And those are people who would say that what President Biden did today is a good thing, but it is not the thing that would protect same-sex marriages, for instance, in Michigan in the future. As a judge for the 36th District Court in Detroit before retiring, one of Rudy Sear's favorite jobs was to marry people, any and all people who'd found that elusive, soul-searing joy called love.
I've married a black woman to a white man, a white woman to a black man, two African-American folks, two white folks. I've done every combination, and now same-sex couples as well.
But as a man who happens to be gay,
I had a partner for many years, and if we had been able to get married, I would have been entitled to benefits, including health insurance and so on, that I never got.
He has always been acutely aware that there are things done behind closed doors between married people and consenting adults that to this day remain against the law. And so he says the time has come for states to revisit the laws on their books to eradicate dormant laws that pry into the privacies of people and could turn them into criminals if those laws are challenged and brought back from dormancy, including Michigan's 2004 ban on same-sex marriage.
Unless there's an injury involved to someone, it is a private matter.
And it is that law and the law that overturned that law called the Obergefell case that concerns Rudy, because an invitation by Justice Clarence Thomas to challenge and revisit certain inalienable rights that have been the laws of the land for decades that protect privacies. Professor Diane Hartmus teaches constitutional law for Oakland University.
This all hinges on Obergefell being overturned. Yes, it's very scary that Thomas brought this up in an opinion. That's unusual. It's frightening. And I think Biden is trying to really make a statement. I mean, Congress, too. This was overwhelmingly bipartisan.
And so what President Biden signed today, the Respect for Marriage Act, which forces states to recognize existing marriages for everyone who is legally married, including same-sex couples, it does not guarantee that sometime next year or whenever, should the Obergefell case be challenged and overturned in Michigan, while same-sex couples who are already married, their marriages will still be recognized, but same-sex couples wanting to get married could lose the right to get married at all.
Michigan has this amendment to our Constitution that says marriage is between one man and one woman, only one man and one woman. If Obergefell is overturned, that takes effect.
Yeah, so now legal experts will also tell you that even though there are no current challenges to the Obergefell case, that it was a dog whistle. The fact that Clarence Thomas called it by name, that there will be cases a-coming. Christy, back to you.
All right, thanks so much. It was a great explainer. Thanks, Paula.